Hello friends, welcome. In this video, I will be discussing about data types in Golang. Friends, in Golang, there are large number of data types. So to study them is bit difficult process. To make them easy, I have divided the data types into four categories. The first one is basic types, second one is aggregate types, third one is reference types, and the fourth one is interface type. Basic types has been further divided into three categories: numbers, booleans, strings. And again, numbers has been divided into three categories: integers, floating point numbers, complex numbers. Again, integers has been divided into two categories: signed integer and unsigned integer. Signed integer is again divided into these five categories. One is the simple int, second one is int 64, third one is int 32, fourth one is int 64, and fifth one is int 8. And similarly, unsigned int has also been divided into five categories: uint 8, uint 16, uint 32, uint 64, and uint. Floating point numbers. This data type is basically used to store decimal numbers. Here it is of two types, float 32 and float 64. Then this is the complex numbers. This is used to store the complex numbers. Here it is again of two types, complex 64 and complex 128. Basically in this complex 64, both real and imaginary part is of 32 bit, and in this case complex 128, both imaginary and real part is of 64 bit. Then we come to this booleans. This is used to store true false values, and this is the strings. So now I will show you uh, these data types, how we can use these data types with an example. I am now in VS Code, and here I will show you how we can use different data types. So first of all, I am creating a file main.go. Here package name is main. Now I will have to define a method, main function. So in VS Code you have to just write fmain and then click enter. The basic structure of function is created. Now here I will create a variable x, and then I will put some value in this 5. Here you have to mention the data type also. So I will start from int. Now here a warning is showing that x declared but not used. So this is the feature in Golang. You have to use every variable that you declare. So now I will have to use this variable. So what I will do, first of all I will print this variable. And then I will print its data type. So to print its data type, we have two way. The first one is we can use fprintf. Here you have to mention %t and then just the variable. It is showing some error. You have to use simply printf, I think. Yeah, so in this way we can find its data type. So let me run this code. Go run main.go. This is the command to run a program in Golang. When we run this code, we can see value of the variable 5 and then data type is int. So to make it a bit clear, what we have to do, /n, we have to add with this %t, and then again if we run this code, we can see both the values are printed separately. Value of the variable x, which is 5, and after that the data type is int. To get its data type, one more method is we can use reflect.typeof method. So let me show that. fmt.println and then reflect.typeof, and you have to pass this variable, and in this way we can also print its data type. You can see its data type has been printed. Now suppose if we want to store -5 here, so in that case it will run successfully. Here it is running successfully because int can store both positive and negative values. But if we use uint here, in that case it is showing a warning, cannot use -5 untyped int constant as uint value in variable declaration. So in this case we can store only non-negative values. We can store 5, and when we run this code we can see its result. It is running successfully. We can also store 0 here. Again we can see that it is running successfully. Now suppose if we want to use other data types like uint64, so we can use it very easily. Now let me run this code again. You can see value of the variable is 12 and this is the data type. Similarly you can use int64 also here. Here you can see the result, value of the variable 12, and this is the data type. So this way you can use any data type like int8, int16, int32. And now I will show you the use of boolean data type. So for that purpose you have to use here bool, and then you can store true or false here. Now if we run this code again, we can see value of the variable is true and the data type is bool. And suppose if we want to store a string here, so again I am running this code. Here you can see value of the variable is hello and the data type is a string. So now suppose if we want to store some floating point value, for that purpose float 32 and 1.65, sorry. Again let me run this code, and we can see that value of the variable is 1.65 and this is the data type. So this is the way we can use float 32 or float 64. Here you can notice one thing, that we cannot use here simply float. Like in the case of int we can simply use int also, and in that case it is not showing any kind of warning. But if we want to use float here, in that case it is showing warning, undeclared name float compiler. So here you have to mention either 32 or either 64. So this is the way in which we can use float data type also. So now I will discuss about the range of the data types. Here you can see the range. The range of int 8 is this, minus 2 to the power 7 to 2 to the power 7 minus 1. Range of int 16 is minus 2 to the power 15 to 2 to the power 15 minus 1. And similarly you can see the range of int 32 and int 64. Here basically the range is like suppose if you want to find the range of this int 16, so in that case what you have to do, minus 2 to the power this 16 minus 1 to 2 to the power 16 minus 1, and then again you have to minus 1. So this is the way we can find the range of this int value. Now this is the range of unsigned integer. So you can see the range of uint 8, uint 16, uint 32 and uint 64. So the range of uint 64 is 0 to 2 to the power 64 minus 1. So I think this video is helpful for you. Thanks.